Wuffy Wuffy. Who's mom's floofer, snooter, cuddle bucket, rough, handsome man?
Kate?
Yeah?
We're back on.
Good boy, Ollie.
Is that how you talk to your dog?
He likes it. It makes him feel loved. How do you talk to Bob Barker?
Not like that. Bob and I are equals. I speak to him very respectfully. Like, good morning, dear Robert. I hope you had a peaceful slumber.
You don't talk to anyone like that.
Okay, you're right. I mean, he's a squish-faced meatball snugglebug boop boop, and I have to tell him that all the time.
Hey, where is Bob anyway?
He's on vacation right now.
I'm not even gonna ask.
It's probably for the best, Kate.
So, I think we need to kick off today's show with everyone's number one question about dogs. Ollie's big and long and lean, with a long snout, floppy ears, and long legs. And Bob is tiny, round, and pudgy with a smushed face, button ears, and stubby legs. But these dogs are related to each other.
Yep, got that right.
And both Ollie and Bob, even though they have zero killer instincts and would probably run away from a deer in the woods, are descended from wolves.
Our dogs come directly from lean, mean hunting machines. How? Evolution.
Could you be more specific?
All dogs, including domestic dogs, wolves, coyotes, even foxes and jackals, are part of a large family of animals called Canidae. In total, there are 14 species of animals in Canidae and 34 subspecies, including the domestic dog, aka Bob and Ollie. The most identifying characteristic of members of the family Canidae is their large canine teeth. They're the really long, pointy ones in your dog's upper jaw.
Cool. Can I see them?
You know your dog best, Kate, but I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, generally you have to pull up your dog's jowls, their floppy lip parts, to see their canines, and some dogs may not like that too much. I mean, you are talking about the descendants of wolves after all, but you can check out your own canine teeth.
Wait a minute. I have dog teeth?
We all have canine teeth. Ours just aren't quite as pronounced. But there's still the pointy ones on the top row. Like if you were a vampire where your fangs would be, and they're actually called cuspids, by the way. Yep. Those are the ones.
Oh, yeah. I hear it. It's
Yep.
liking.
Anyway, the Canidae family tree is pretty ancient, like millions and millions of years ancient. So we'll pick up about 5 million years ago with a species of animal called Leptoscion. Leptoscion was a small to medium-sized animal, probably about the size of a fox. It had tiny canine teeth that allowed it to eat both plants and berries, as well as small rodents. In other words, it wasn't super choosy when it came to mealtime, and that's what allowed it to live long enough to evolve into other types of dog. Also probably why your dog will eat whatever you put in front of it. Except Bob will not eat broccoli. I've tried.
Hey, kind of like us. Unless there's cheese on it.
There's hope for our species yet.
So how do we get from a tiny leptoscion to a wolf and then to a dog?
Well, Leptoscion was doing so well back in the days of yore, which means millions of years ago, that as offspring of this animal moved into other places and crossed land bridges that don't exist anymore, it adapted to different surroundings based on what it needed to survive, and then slowly became different species entirely. For example, one line stayed the same size and adapted more Leptoscion-like traits, and that would eventually become the line that became foxes, while another would grow bigger, and its teeth would get bigger and sharper, and they would become bone-crushing teeth, and, well, that line eventually evolved into wolves.
Fascinating.
I know, ain't science grand?
But you still haven't told me how wolves became Bobs and Ollies.
I know, there's just so much hairy history to dive into. So, I tell you what, let's spin some tunes, and when we come back, I'll tell you all about how the great and mighty wolf became the round, roly-poly pug, right here on The Weird But True Show.